the world, Lōkaya. One day Venerable Ananda, the chief attendant of the Buddha, approached him and asked, "Exalted One, where is the world?" Very simple question, "Lord, where is the world?" The Buddha answered saying, "Ananda, the world exists on dukkha." What would we do if the same question were asked us? We would be searching for the location of the world. We will turn around, look at the sky, or look for a globe or the world map. We are used to look for the world naked to our eyes. Is not that the case? That is the world we can think of. However, the Buddha gave a different answer. Let's see what the answer is. What are we doing now? We have now 6 faculties: eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. This eye contacts external world colors. They are called color objects, colors. Thereafter, once the eye contacted the color objects, colors, a vijnana occurs along with it. As an example, when 2 electrical wires of 2 opposite poles in the world that we know of are touched together, a spark appears with a flash and a clicking, and the vijnana is like that. It is something like that. A consciousness appears after contact of an object with the eye. We call it chakku vijnana, or the eye consciousness. Next, when an external object of sound meets the ear, a vijnana appears. We call it ear consciousness, sota vijnana. Next, a vijnana appears when the nose meets an odor, either pleasurable smell or offensive smell, instantly. We call it nose consciousness, ghana vijnana. Next, when the tongue feels a flavor, a vijnana occurs. The Buddha had called it tongue consciousness, jiva vijnana. Next, when the body feels a sensation, it is called body consciousness, kaya vijnana. When any thought, an idea occurs of the mind, a vijnana occurs there. The Buddha had called it mind consciousness, mana vijnana. Thus, vijnana appears like sparks that appear with a flash and a clicking from electrical wires, at various places like a magician. Contact of eye and external images produce vijnana, that faculty. Contact of ear and external sounds produce vijnana, that faculty. Contact of nose and external odors produce vijnana, that faculty. Contact of tongue and external flavors produce vijnana, that faculty. Contact of body and external sensations produce vijnana, that faculty. Appearance of a mental impulse, a thought in the mind, produces vijnana, that faculty. Therefore, we named vijnana, based on the faculty at which it surfaced. Vijnana is inconstant, changeable, alterable, and non-eternal thing. Different external objects, when in touch with different faculties, produce different vijnana according to the objects that meets the individual faculties. Then if we take as an example, first, chakku vijnana alone does not function, which arises because of eye having a contact with an object. Irrespective of where vijnana materializes, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind, invariably 5 thought influxes also arise simultaneously with each vijnana. These 5 thought influxes, these 5 cetasika, always occur in the presence of vijnana. Vijnana will never appear without these 5 thought influxes, and 5 thought influxes will never appear without vijnana. These 5 thought influxes invariably appear only if vijnana appears. What are these 5 thought influxes then? These 5 cetasika, one is called passa, it means feel, something felt. A vijnana occurred when eye is in touch with a color, and it is called chakku vijnana. The passa cetasika says, saw. Vijnana that appear at the ear because of contact between the ear and the sound is called sota vijnana. However, as the vijnana occurs at the ear, what informs, heard, is passa cetasika. Similarly, when nose is in touch with an odor, the passa cetasika informs us, an odor. As the vijnana occurs. As the vijnana appear at the tongue due to contact with a flavor, passa cetasika informs us, hear a flavor. Again, as vijnana appears in mind when body senses a feeling, passa cetasika informs, a feeling. Vijnana appear in the mind because of a thought influx. Instantly passa cetasika says, remembered. Okay. Then, when vijnana occurs at respective faculties as saw, heard, smelt, tasted, body sensed a feeling, thought impulses arose, remembered etc., what transpired is informed by the Passacetasika. Then, Passacetasika said, saw, when Chakku Vijnana occurred because of contact between the eye and the colors. Then, next, another Cetasika surfaces instantly with Passa thought. What is that Cetasika? It is Vedana. Now, if we take saw as an example, it is the Passa that informed saying, seen. Then, next recognizes, whether what was seen is pleasant or unpleasant. Does it with what? It is done with the Vedana Cetasika. Therefore, Passa Vedana, the Vedana had informed what? Seen is a pleasant object, an unpleasant object, or a neutral object. Then, it is the same for all 6 faculties. The place where the Vijnana occurred, where the Vijnana had occurred, what heard, seen etc., when struck by an object, Vedana Cetasika informs whether the object seen, heard, smelled, or sensed is pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. A third Cetasika occurs. What do we call it? It is Sanya Cetasika. Sanya thought impulse. Sanya means identify. Now, when the eye had seen an object, it identifies what the object is. If it heard something, what it heard, or smelled something, what it smelled. If the tongue tasted something, what it tasted. If the body felt something, what it felt. This is same with the mental Cetasika. Therefore, Sanya does the identifying. Passa signals something struck, after that Vedana had recognized it as a pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral one, and the Sanya identifies whatever that struck, whatever that heard, whatever that seen, or whatever that occurred. Then there is another Cetasika. It is called Chaitanya Cetasika. Passa signals something struck, Vedana recognizes it as a pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral one, Sanya identifies whatever that struck, and Chaitanya develops the desire to have it or desire not to have it based on Vedana's recognition it as pleasant or unpleasant. Thus based on our likes and dislikes of the objects encountered by the 6 faculties, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind, we develop desires to acquire it or despise it. The Buddha called this the karma. All have heard this. By the phrase Chetana and Bhikhokaman Wadami, the Buddha had meant karma, Chaitanya. Chaitanya is karma. Then, Passa, Vedana, Sanya, Chaitanya. There is another Cetasika called Manasikara. This Cetasika helps to activate the process. Then, now look, as an example, when we say that we are seeing, what does it mean by seeing? It means the eye is in contact with an external object, and after that, Vijnana appeared. Along with that Vijnana the 5 Cetasika, Passa, Vedana, Sanya, Chaitanya, and Manasikara activities simultaneously occur. It means seen. What did it see? If seen, is it a pleasant or unpleasant? Next thought impulse formed regarding it, is either an lobha, or is a Devesha Cetasika. Then, this is what we all do forever, from the time of birth to the death. These activities here, see objects with the eye, be attached with what we like, and or clash with what we dislike. Hear sounds with the ears, are attached with what we like, and clash with what we dislike. We smell with the nose, are attached with what we like, and clash with what we dislike. The taste too. The tongue is same, attached with what we like, and clash with what we dislike. Feeling with the body is the same, attached with what we like, and clash with what we dislike. Ideas with the mind are the same, are attached with what we like, and clash with what we dislike. Creating thoughts like them, lobha, devesha, this chitta, vijnana keeps active performing these activities from the birth to the death. This is what we do as living, it is as we are caught in a trap. There is the eye, there are the objects, they meet each other, and the vijnana keeps occurring. Ear is there, sounds are there, and vijnana occurs. Like this, the faculties continue these activities by contacting and attaching onto external objects. This happens non-stop and swiftly. This is just constantly active. None understands this. This activity happens by a vijnana. Because it occurs very rapidly, none is aware of it, as it happens so quickly in a speed not cognizable by the ordinary mind, in a mental moment, without our knowledge activities keep going on. none understands, cannot touch, not easy to think and cognize it either. We recognize some happening, see something, we hear, we smell, we taste, we feel, or imagine because of a rapidly occurring series of cetasika meeting those objects. We create those cetasika. Then the world described by the Buddha is this world, the Panchcho Upadana Skandha. This is the world, nothing else. This Panchcho Upadana Skandha world. Venerable Ananda had questioned the Buddha where the world is. The Buddha had described Panchcho Upadana Skandha as the world. The stream of cetasika activities that occurs when an external object strikes the six personal faculties is the world. Here, the world known as I creates. Had said the world is situated on dukkha. Why was it said that it is situated on dukkha? Now, if there were no contact of an rupa with the eye, would there be chakku vijnana? No, chakku vijnana will not arise. Now, if there were no contact of a sound with the ear, would there be sota vijnana? No, sota vijnana will not arise. Now, if there were no contact of an odor with the nose, would there be ghana vijnana? No, ghana vijnana will not arise. Now, if there were no contact of a flavor with the tongue, would there be jiva vijnana? No, jiva vijnana will not arise. Now, if there were no contact of a sensation with the body, would there be kaya vijnana? No, kaya vijnana will not arise. Now, if a sensation had not arisen in the mind, would there be mana vijnana? No, mana vijnana will not arise. Thus, here these cetasika arise, immediately vijnana occurs when external objects meet internal sense faculties. Along with that, occurs what is called Panchcho Upadana Skandha process. It disappears with that thought. As an example, had heard a certain sound. Heard a recurring click, tick, tick, and tick by striking something on a table. What happens there? We hear the sound at each strike, but instantly it disappears. Along with it, vijnana appeared and passed away instantly. Then what is happening in this Panchcho Upadana Skandha process, appearing disappearing? It appears, it disappears. It arises and fades away. This keeps happening fast. This is a swiftly occurring process. None understands this. As the process is rapidly appearing disappearing, the Arahants are the ones who know this Panchcho Upadana Skandha process. The Buddha had realized this first. Prince Siddhartha gone in search of Dhamma on the last day, on the day of the attainment of Buddhahood, what did he do first? Sitting under the Tasata Bo tree, he sat under that tree and started meditating utilizing the known method, Anapanasati Bhavana. He started practicing that, the Anapanasati Bhavana. What did he do afterward? Through it, he had developed first dhyana, then second dhyana, then third dhyana, and up to the fourth dhyana. After that, then leaving the dhyana, the Buddha had said, he had looked at the world. Now, he had been looking for what world that night? In dark, under a tree. Looking at that world means he was looking at this process. He had looked at his own inside. This is what happened while he was looking inside him. Heard a sound, it disappeared. Heard another sound with the other ear, appeared, disappeared. A breeze touched the body, felt a chill or something, and disappeared. Here, the Buddha witnessed the world. This is it. What is going on? This appearing disappearing process, a sound appeared and disappeared. An external sound is external, that is rupa and I. Having contact with each other, a vijnana occurred, nama, cetasika, nama rupa, chita and body, both nama and rupa. Appearing, disappearing without leaving a residue, kept on. Appearing, disappearing, this is the process. Thus, this is what is called world. Then, this world is anicca, appearing, disappearing, is anicca. Then, does what is? Anicca could be happy ever? Everything that is anicca is dukkha. That is why the Buddha told Venerable Ananda the world is situated on dukkha. Actually, the world sited on this anicca. Dukkha means anicca, world formed on the anicca. Then, none in this world, except the Arahants knows this, until the Buddha experienced enlightenment and disclosed it to the world, until the Buddha realized this, none knew about it. First, the Buddha realized, this is what, going on there. Afterward, he expounded it to the others outside. After that, developing that process. Accordingly, developing the Noble Eightfold Path, this Pancho Upadana Skanda Dukkha they saw. The realization of this Pancho Upadana Skanda Dukkha is called Arahant Pala. This is the Vijja. Until realized this, we are in Avidya. Vijja is seeing. This is what the Buddha saw that night. This is what is perceived as experiencing Arahant Pala. That is why the Buddha made many inspirational utterances. That day after disclosing Pancho Upadana Skanda, what did the Buddha continue to describe to 5 ascetics in Katura area? Sati Ayadisana? After saying, Jatipi Dukkha, Jarapi Dukkha, Maranandpi Dukto, ended up by saying, Sankhithina Pancho Upadana Skanda Dukkha. After saying that, he described this Pancho Upadana Skanda Dukkha. Now, for us, there is what, in this Pancho Upadana Skanda, nothing other than the 5 skanda, Pancha Skanda, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana, present within the process of the 5. Chaitasika, Passa, Vedana, Sanya, Chaitana, and Manasikara. That occurs along with Vijnana. Eye, colors mean Rupa, nose and odors are Rupa. Ear and sounds are Rupa, tongue and flavors are Rupa. They are products of Mahabhūta. What are they? Every corporeal thing included in Rupa Skanda, which is having Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo as primary aggregates, here the Rupa then. Vedana, now this Vedana means, previously what we have explained as Pancho Upadana Skanda, those Vedana Chaitasika. They are pleasant feelings, unpleasant feelings, and neutral feeling, and these 3 are the Vedana Chaitasika. This is what is called Vedana Skanda. Next is Rupa, Vedana, then Sanya Skanda. Identification. Is Sanya Skanda, all identifications. Identifications in world of various objects that contact our sensual faculties are included in Sanya Skanda. Next is Sankhara, Sanskara Skanda. It is called Sanskara, meant what by Sanskara? It is that Chaitana Chaitasika, the amount of Pina and Papa karma acquired, amount of karma called Pina or Papa, in describing Sanskara Skanda. The Buddha had used it here mostly as Punabhasankara, Apunabhasankara, Ananjabhasankara. The Punabhasankara means Punya karma. Apunabhasankara means Papa karma. Punabhasankara means Rupavakara Pina, the karma that give rise to a birth in a sensual world, heaven, or human world to enjoy cheerful life is called Punabhasankara. The Apunabhasankara or Papa karma are those karma which are abaya-bound, or give rise to birth in Sathropaya. They are called Papa. Rupavakara Pina is called Punabhasankara. The Ananjabhasankara are Kusala, generated because of Bhavana, which gives rise to a birth in a Brahma world. Then it is the Sankhara that Buddha called Sankhara Skanda. Then, Vijnana. What does Vijnana mean? It is the citta, formed when external objects strikes at the 6 sensual faculties: eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Then, the world is situated on these 5, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, and Vijnana. Then, I have already discussed how the world is formed on dukkha. All of them are appearing and disappearing. Thus, they are anicca and dukkha. Could we call them good and harmless, because it is anicca and dukkha, and is there anything that can be held on to as mine, I, or as a soul? No. Because of that, these are defined as anatta. To say it plainly, that is the reason for the Buddha to declare to Venerable Ananda that the world is sited on dukkha. Thus, the world that we see is located on the three characteristics anicca, dukkha, and anatta. This is called triple characteristics. Thus, this rupa skandha is dukkha. Rupa skandha is anicca, dukkha, and anatta. Vedana skandha is anicca, dukkha, and anatta. Sanya skandha is anicca, dukkha, and anatta. Sankhara skandha is anicca, dukkha, and anatta. Vijnana skandha is anicca, dukkha, and anatta. The Buddha had advised us to see this rupa skandha. He had advised us to see all fine and gross rupa skandha, both internal and external, which are made up with Mahabhuta Patavi, Apo, Tejo, and Vayo. It was compared to what, and how was it identified? Had given an example, like a mass of foams. You may have seen foams. What you see at watercourse, when water drops whitish stuff, do we have anything to hold onto in it? There is nothing in foam, it breaks away moment it is touched. Keep appearing as bubbles and blow up. That is called a mass of foams. Then, this rupa skandha is like a mass of foam, okay. Next is Vedana. Vedana skandha, Sukha Vedana, dukkha Vedana, or Adakama Sukha Vedana. What are these Vedana? To what had the Buddha compared it? The Buddha had compared it to a water bubble. Now, when water falls from a place like a roof onto a collection of water, instantly a water bubble appears and bursts away moment it is formed. All Vedana, Sukha Vedana, dukkha Vedana, or Adakama Sukha Vedana, appear disappear instantly like a water bubble. People do not know it. Yes, he had advised us to look at the Vedana as a water bubble. Next is Sanya skandha. All perceptions, to what did the Buddha compare them? To a mirage. It does not have anything in it to identify or to take into account, like a mirage. It is an optical illusion of a sheet of water appearing afar on a hot day. Have you seen a mirage? As we chase it moves away from us. Do we find water there? There is no water. It is an illusion that cheats the eye. Thus, Sanya is only a fantasy, misleading our human beings. Do you see it? Do we think like this? Okay, we do not think. Therefore, Sanya is a mirage. Next is Sankhara, which means karma, pina or papa. Karma. The Buddha compared all karma to a banana trunk. Do we get to find a center core? If we peel a banana, we could end up peeling the whole trunk without finding any hardwood, core substance, or a crux. Are you clear? This is how the Buddha had explained. Now we receive, to this discussion through previous program 2, what we hear from them is the situation prevailing today. Now people are very interested in performing various pina, punya kamas. This, pina and power are both karma. There exists a wonderful interest for doing pina. The Buddha had identified this. Does not matter how hard we do punya karma, as a vain act having no practical effect or useful result. The Buddha had included all dukkha in Panchacho Upadana skandha. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana, Pancha skandha. Dukkha. He had compared Vijnana to a magician. Okay, the segment Sankhara mentioned here by me are karma. Collecting. Karma is what we do every day. We do everything, every day. Looking for objects to please eye, ear, tongue, body, and mind. What are we doing from the time we wake up in the morning until to the time we go to bed? Forever we are chasing things to satisfy our faculties, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind, and are trying to get what we like and trying to be away from what we dislike. We keep on doing those activities. That is what the Buddha had seen. Now, this is what we keep doing all the time. If all these 5 skandha are anicca, dukkha, and anatta, why hold on to them? What we need to do is to get rid of this heap of trash. This is full of dukkha. That is why people weep, feel sorrow, and lament. That is the 11 fires: birth, aging, death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, distress, despair, association with things one dislikes, separation from things one liked, and not getting what one wants or getting what one do not want. Where do we find all these 11 fires? We find them in Pancho Upadana Skandha. Only if we let go this 5 skandha, we will end dukkha, the dukkhas of birth, aging, and death ends. What is not described there, the dukkhas with finer and deeper meanings, will also end if we let go these 5 skandha. Instead, what are we doing? Are we letting them go? Do we know this? We do not care, running in 10 directions looking for things that gratify our 6 sensual faculties. Objects for the eye, sounds for the ear, smells for the nose, flavors for the tongue, feelings for the body, and mental objects for the mind. This is what we do daily. We are doing nothing else. This is our Chaitanya. What do we call satisfying eye, ear, etc.? Karma. Chaitanya, satisfying faculties, is karma. What are we doing as pleasing? We are supplying nutriments to skandha. Pancho Upadana Skandha. Then what are we doing now? We keep on satisfying indriya. That is why we chase after objects. We do not get pleasant objects all the time. We get unpleasant ones too, are attached to pleasant ones, and clash with unpleasant objects. Mostly, we receive unpleasant objects. Most of the struggle is to get away from them. Receive only a small amount of pleasant objects. Therefore, a considerable effort has to be made. Then, we keep looking for these. This is what we do as living. Then, the problem is that the 5 skandha do not arise by itself. Contact with the 6 sensual faculties gives rise to 5 skandha. We have mentioned about how the world is formed earlier. It is a thing produced by us. We keep providing nutrients. For its survival, we have a big desire to supply nutrients for their upkeep, and that is tanha. That is why the Buddha disclosed after describing the dukkha satyaya in Katurarya satyaya disana, that dukkha does not appear by itself. Dukkha occurred because of a cause. He said it appears because of 3 reasons: karma, tanha, bhavatanha, and vibhavatanha. Chasing things to satisfy our faculties, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind, are all karma. Tanha. This is a tanha, had called it karma tanha, based on which faculty of the 6 tanha would occur, had named them separately as tanha for rupa, tanha for sounds, tanha for fragrance, tanha for tastes, tanha for feelings, and tanha for dhamma to indicate them separately. Karma tanha is this all. The next is bhava tanha, the desire to be born. Repeatedly, the desire to be born time after time, repeatedly. It also is a tanha, the bhava tanha. Next, vibhava tanha, the desire not to be born like that. It also is a tanha. Both of them are tanha. Providing nutrients to tanha is what is being done. Are you clear about what I have been explaining so far? Have you understood what Panchaskandha is? Without a doubt, it is Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, and Vijnana. Now several of you are confused. Sir, have you asked a question previously about Sankara, did you not? Have asked what Sankara is, and is it something that is appearing, disappearing? Remember what Sankara means here. As I know, the word Sankara is second in description only to the biggest word in the world. As I know, Dhamma is the biggest word. Dhamma includes everything in the world. The word Sankara is only a tiny bit smaller than it is. What are Sankara? The word Sankara has many meaning depending on how and where it is applied. The Buddha had used it at one place saying, Anicca Watha Sankara are part of Dhammino. Here it bears the meaning as Anicca Sankara are Anicca, a part of Dhammino, appearing, disappearing. That is what I have been saying previously. Appearing, disappearing. External objects impinge upon the six sensual faculties, such as eye, ear, and nose. What happens as they make contact with them? They produce Panchcho Upadana Skandha process, creating the world of Panchcho Upadana Skandha, and then this is Anicca. Anicca Watha Sankara, Anicca Sankara, Apada. Dhammino, appearing, disappearing. In this world whatever subject to nature of appearing, disappearing is a Sankara, it does create a big issue, does it? If there is anything in the world that goes through appearance and disappearance is a Sankara. Therefore, what are Sankara? The things that appear, disappear. Anicca things. Sankara means Anicca, means Anicca Watha. Sankara are part of Dhammino, appearing, disappearing. That is one meaning of Sankara, okay. Another instant, Sankara is explained as Avijñapakaya. Sankara, another time it is explained as Pancha Skandha, as Rupa. Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana. It means karma. Anyway, karma also is produced. This also is found within that main product. Nonetheless, here we mean Pina and Papa karma. Here Sankara bears the meaning Pina or Papa karma. However, their Sankara represent mainly those two meanings. Have we answered your question fully? Then, where we talk about Punya Papa karma, we are saying, as explained earlier, all Punya karma that we perform falls into the group of Anicca. They are considered as dukkha, because the Panchcho Upadana Skandha is formed within the world. When we say world is mundane, we mean the world is dukkha. This is the reason for the Buddhas to appear, to disclose that the world is dukkha, to disclose that it did not appear by nature, none created it, and none designed it. An Almighty God did not bring about it. Mahabrahma did not produce it. None designed it. This came to being because of a certain cause. This came to being because of Tanha. What is it, this arisen world? It is this Panchcho Upadana Skandha world. This was produced. The cause for its appearance is Tanha. Thus, this world is dukkha. We must do what? If we want to be free of dukkha, we must destroy Tanha. That is what we need to do. Why do we need to destroy Tanha? To be free from Panchcho Upadana Skandha dukkha. Panchcho Upadana Skandha came about because of Tanha. To be free from dukkha, we must destroy Tanha. What is Tanha? Kama Tanha, Bhava Tanha, and Vibhava Tanha. What is Kama Tanha? The desire to enjoy Rupa by eye, and is called Rupa. Tanha. The desire to enjoy sounds by ear, and is called sound. Tanha. The desire to enjoy odors with nose, and is called odor. Tanha. The desire to enjoy tastes by tongue, and is called taste. Tanha. The desire to enjoy feelings by body, and is called feeling. Tanha. The desire to enjoy mental images by mind, and is called Dhammatana. Then, it is gratification of these 6 faculties is what we do. As Tanna, this pleasing these faculties was called Kama-tanna. The next is Bhava-tanna. Bhava-tanna is the desire to be born repeatedly and repetitively. That also is a tanna. That is why it is called Bhava-tanna. Next tanna is Vibhava-tanna. Vibhava-tanna is the opposite of Bhava-tanna. Do not want be born repeatedly. That is also a tanna. Now these tanna, Kama-tanna, Bhava-tanna, and Vibhava-tanna, it is because of them that dukkha appeared. Now, this dukkha is born. Even tanna exists within this dukkha. Tanna is rooted within this panchcho upadana skandha dukkha. Though Buddha had articulated this in Adhisana to make it easy for us to understand where Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, and Vijnana describe that Sankhara come to be because of Tanna, both Pina and Papa come about because of Chaitanya, invariably with liking toward desirables and with resentment toward undesirables. This Tanna activates as desires and hatreds. Most people are not aware of this. Now many of you are puzzled about Pina and Kusala. This puzzles because what is common nowadays are conducting punya-kamas, punya-kamas of dana, purita, dhamma chanting, dhamma sermons etc. Then, giving dana is dana punya-kama. Buddha vandana, not only to one, but also is to 28 Buddhas, 28 Buddha vandana. There is also worship of 7 Buddhas, have invented various things like this. Furthermore, they have invented various rituals such as 80 Mahashravaka Puja for the noble jewel, Arya Mahasangha, for the only one Sangha. So many things have been concocted as punya-kama, talk about Pina, only about Pina. They are always wishing happiness in the realms of human and deities. Then, because of the way they describe them are very pleasurable, now a puzzle occur about punya-kamas done longing to experience happiness in human deity realms. Now, it had been described that whole panchcho upadana skandha is dukkha, the world of deities is within this world, within this panchcho upadana skandha, within panchcho upadana skandha world, and within dukkha satya. We exist in human world. Do we experience happiness here? Why are we wishing this again? This is a big puzzle, is it not? We are born in a human world, all of us including you all who are participating in this discussion and me who is conducting this discussion, are all belonging to human species. This is a happy birth, and then we are in a happy place within this world. Why then, we are wishing happiness, in heaven and human world. Is it necessary? Why then, we are wishing. Have we ever been contented? When are we going to be contented? Where do we find the end to these desires for this kind of happiness? Nibbāna is what most of us expect as the end of these expectations for happiness. Where is the delight in heaven human world's end? What is meant by happiness in heaven human worlds? Again, it is Tanna. What we are developing as Pina is Tanna. By the way, happiness in human realm of deities also is belonging to this world. Comparatively, they are better than the 4 hells. Now we know the human world. If people believe that human world brings happiness, we do not need to wish for a deva world. This world is full of dukkha. If this world is a happy place, people do not have to be sad and lamenting. What we discussed as dukkha, birth, aging, death etc. is then would not be present here in this world. All these dukkha exist here. Therefore, this whole world is dukkha. Both human and heavenly worlds are within panchcho upadana skandha world. If we ever want to be free from dukkha, we must escape from this panchcho upadana skandha dukkha. Now this world, when we think of these world elements, the Buddha had confirmed that 31 grounds exist where people take birth within this world. Element They are 4 hells, the states where people are born by not performing punyakamas but doing papa. 4 hells, 1. Human world, 6 deva worlds, add them up to 11. They are called karma states where people take birth because of their karma oriented punyakamas or because of papa deeds. Therefore, 7 karma happy bhava and 4 karma unhappy bhava. Additionally, there are 20 Brahma worlds. Not going to describe them now. People take birth in them because of kusala, derived because of bhavana practice, those resulted because of ananjabi sankara, and because of jnana-oriented kusala, related to bhavana. When we add them up all, there are 30. One of them, and all of them belong to the world. This world is sankara, it is produced, a product of tanha. This world is dukkha, we must free ourselves of it. Questions arise because of that. The way those people who question, do we need to perform punya kamas? Very big question. Is it pina? Is it kusala? If there is pina, it extends the bhava, samsara. Samsara means I, or the world. For the persistence of samsara, we require pina. For escaping from samsara, we must drop pina. We need to let go whole pancho upadana skanda. Okay, then we needs to let go pina too. Then, no purpose served by pina too. Does pina serve any purpose? No purpose served. Must drop pina too. What should we develop instead? We should do kusala, must excel in kusala. For what are we developing kusala? To let go pancho upadana skanda, to let go the world of rupa, vedana, sanya, sankara, and vijnana. Pancha skanda, we need to grow kusala. If the world is dukkha, we must leave the world. Once we are out of the world, we are free of dukkha. The cause of dukkha is tanha. We are unaware that we keep living in dukkha, supplying nutriments for its continuation. That is what the Buddha perceived. This is the dukkha, must let go this dukkha. Are you clear of what I have been explaining? Therefore, let go pina, we need kusala. Thus, need kusala to be free from dukkha. Pina are for staying in the world. Yes, for the existence of world, survival of bhava, and continuation of samsara, we need merits. We need kusala to flee the world. Pina does keep us deeply and solidly lodged in dukkha. Therefore, kusala needed to leave dukkha. Have you understood this? Now, what do we do as pina? Offering dana. Dana, sila and bhavana are also included here. Consist of dhyana too. I mentioned earlier that there are 20 Brahma worlds. They are also within this world, and people are born there as results of dhyana kusala. However, they exist within the world element. They are also anicca and dukkha. Even their I is present. They live very long in those worlds. Lifespan in deva worlds is much longer than human world, and that of Brahma worlds is still longer than deva worlds, measured in kalpas. Even in the highest Brahma world, Akanita Brahma world, there is I. Dukkha, I is present. Identity is there, experiencing it. When we say pancho upadana skanda is dukkha, it includes all worlds, all experiences, vedana, they are all dukkha. Even in Akanita, there is experiencing and I. It is mundane, and dukkha. Are you clear about this? Not only because of anicca, experiencing itself is dukkha. There is dukkha because of anicca. There is dukkha because of presence of dukkha. There is dukkha because of experiencing. They are dukkha. Therefore, what do we do by giving dana, observing sila, and practicing bhavana, saying that we Are doing punya karma, increase dukkha, augmenting dukkha? Question. Does it not generate any kusala within those acts? Answer. No, 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 there is no generation of kusala. Let me explain how kusala are generated. Today, most people do punya karma and do things expecting merits. Many practice bhavana, even considering it as a punya karma. Many people meditate. Today, bhavana has become a fashion today, similar to acts of dana, sila, and chanting of paritu etc. similar to those acts. Some people practice bhavana continuously today, gathering hundreds and thousands of people just by going a tiny bit above those acts. Are conducting workshops, classes, and tutoring. People say they gave us bhavana, attended bhavana classes, and attended bhavana workshop etc. If we ask them why they are meditating, or what bhavana is, they have no answer. I am trying to show the dilemma that they are in. Whatever it is, understand all punya karmas exists within dukkha. When we say sankara, it means sankara skanda. The Buddha had identified pina as sankara, here introduced as punya and papa karma. What were these karma compared to? Compared to a banana trunk. When we peel a banana trunk, looking for the center core, we will end up peeling the whole trunk without finding any hard wood, core substance, or a crux. Therefore, what we need to do is not pina, not necessary for Buddhas to appear to talk about merits. Samsara continues. Whether the Buddhas appear or not, the world continues to exist. Dukkha exists. In replying to Venerable Ananda's question, the Buddha said, Ananda, the world exists on dukkha. Therefore, you all are living on dukkha. All beings exist on dukkha. Then, sankara are needed for prolongation of dukkha, karma needed. Patika Samappada states, Avij Yapakaya Sankara Sankara Pakaya Vijnana. Let us discuss that on another day. It talks also about where this existence is. Therefore, sankara or the karma is the main components required for the existence of samsara. Then, the existence of all beings is on this world. Beings in this world live taking what as the primary ingredient? Food as the main ingredient. The Buddha had said that the being lived because of food. What are foods then? Four of them are there. Kabalinkara food, Passa food, Manasansthana food, and Vijnana food. Here Kabalinkara foods means foods taken in through the mouth, the liquids and chewable foods. They are needed to sustain the body. Then, Passa foods means rupa for the eye, sounds for the ear, odors for the nose, tastes for the tongue, feelings for the body, and mental objects for the mind, various external objects that keep sensual faculties going. They cannot survive without contact with external objects. Yearning at the base of eye, ear, cannot stay at one place, rush in 10 different directions, and doing a variety of things. I do not have to point it out, you all know how difficult to do this. Try to stay away from society at home in a room without contacting rupa or sounds to understand how difficult to do this. These contacts are Passa foods, cannot live without it. Next essential thing for survival is Manasansthana. Karma. This is a karma strength or power. The survival of the samsara, survival of the beings exists within this. As long as it is there, beings continue to live. Next is Vijnana, Shita. Then these are food, we explain there too, they cause the dukkha, they disappear. To sustain bhava, karma is needed. If bhava is dukkha, and its existence depends on karma, to be free from dukkha we must not acquire merits. Acquiring pina means living in dukkha, wishing for dukkha, continuing in dukkha. That means carrying forward the dukkha. Are you clear? Therefore, we do not need pinna. Pinna had existed all the time. At the time of appearance of the Buddhas, there was bhava and samsara. There were Deva world, Brahma world, human world, and hell. Beings took birth in Brahma world, and returned here. Born in Naya too. All of them are samsara. All beings traversed around the circle of samsara. Siddhartha Gautama had been in bhava before his enlightenment. He lived in bhava for an incalculable period in fulfilling paramita. We cannot say for how long he had been in this samsara cycle before starting on paramita. Therefore, what we need to do is to find freedom from dukkha. To be free from dukkha we need to generate kusala but not pinna. Thus, kusala means to augment this process to go across samsara. The advice in Noble Eightfold Paths is the development of kusala. I will explain it in a moment, how to develop kusala. Have you understood what was described? Question. There we say a lot about pinna and punya kammas. Many people identify them also as kusala. Many use a range of terms, such as virtuous act, good acts, and developing kusala, to describe them. Now, the way you describe it, doing pinna means development of dukkha while living in it. This will be confusing to many people. What it means is that to experience Nibbāna even, we think that we need to do pinna. Answer. Yes, want to know what pinna is? Here there is a little challenge in words. Do not get involved in it. Do not hang on to words and grapple. Here what is meant by merit is what everyone does these days in general. As I have mentioned earlier, people give dana, wishing happiness in Deva and human worlds. What does it mean by happiness in Deva and human worlds? It is happiness within this world, a heaven within this existent world. What does it mean by this world? What have I been saying from start? It is Pancho Upadana Skanda world. The world is not what is in a map book or the globe. It is Pancho Upadana Skanda world within the confines of world. I have already talked about series of activities Pasa, Vedana, Sangha, Chaitana, and Manasikara. Both, Nama, Rupa, are born with Vijnana. Then, this whole world is dukkha. The survival of this world survives because of certain causes. That is why I talked about foods. The principal ingredient for the survival of the world is karma, punya karma. Thus, anything people do for the continuation of this world is a pinna or a pava. Do you understand it that way? Anything that we do for the continuation of dukkha in this world or bhava is a merit or a demerit. However, what is known as dukkha, even in Deva worlds, dukkha exist. However, remember, when it is said that the world is formed on dukkha, it includes everything in world. I have said that there are 31 worlds within this universe, where beings take birth. They include Deva, human, and Brahma etc., and they are all dukkha. The continuity of dukkha depends on karma. They are pinna. Okay, assume them as pinna. Likewise, there are things that needed to cross over from dukkha. Assume them as kusala, as this has become a huge puzzle. There is no win-win situation. Different individuals give different dāsana, based on them various questions asked. Really, this is very difficult to explain. If we take as an example, the difficulties meet in giving a dāsana of the Buddha. The difficulty the listeners go through in understanding is this. We know of people who are blind from birth. Someone who is blind from birth, they are called born blind. Is it possible for one blind to see daylight ever? One who is blind from birth could never see the light. One who could see, if became blind later on, after seeing light. That is not what I was referring to. One who had been blind from birth has never seen light. Has he ever seen colors? No. Then, if we try to explain colors to a born blind, how much trouble we would face. We are doing a similar job here. Those who are in this world would not know anything about something beyond this mundane world. We are explaining a supramundane thing. Then, it is like that when we take karma as a topic, something that cannot see by the eye, or touch. Thus, karma they call it, pinna they call it. Using words, we have to conduct dhyana. Because of that, things here have become a complex mass. Now keep this in mind, for simplicity. Pinna or power are any karma that required for the continued existence of Pancho Upadana Skanda world, aiming at either heavens or hells. It does not matter. The karma that are performed for sustenance of Lōkaya pinna or power. There is a certain process to cross over the loka. That is kusala. Have you understood it now? Then, what are lobha, dvesha, and moha? Lobha, dvesha, moha are the roots of akusala. Roots of kusala are just the opposites. Alobha, advesha, and amoha. Lobha, dvesha, moha, alobha, advesha, and amoha all belong to akusala and kusala. They are roots of akusala and kusala. We must develop kusala, not pinna to cross over samsara. You may have become confused over this. Again, what I pointed out was that they are roots of kusala and roots of akusala. Therefore, do not allow any confusion to arrive. Keep very well in mind, if we consider dana action, giving dana is a pinna. Although giving dana is a pinna, at another place, the dana action is a paramitha, a thing required for experiencing Nibbāna. There are 10 paramithas. The first one in them is dana paramitha. Dana becomes a paramitha. How does it? Dana in one angle is a pinna, and in another angle it is a paramitha. Dana becomes a pinna. When it has punya karma, dana gives rise to pinna. If dana is conducted expecting pinna, it falls into the group of pinna. Dana. Giving something expecting deva human happiness, it is a pinna. Question. Does dana fall into kusala chitta? Answer. No, the chances for happening that way are rare, because that it is the chaitana which generates karma. Here the desire is for deva human happiness. Dana given targeting dukkha would deliver only deva human happiness. It would become a kusala if it were given with the idea of thinning lobha, given expecting Nibbāna. Do not have to wish for Nibbāna anyhow. Need to give away without lobha, dvesha, and moha, with a lobha, advesha, and a moha chitta. Typically, we give dana with lobha chitta. We do all punya karma with lobha chitta, giving something expecting a big return. We give a rupee to a beggar expecting birth in heaven. There what we have is an exchange or an investment. It is an investment expecting a better return. This is again pavagami, or for mundane benefits to continue to live in dukkha. If it was given thinking this is dukkha, continued existence of Pancho Upadana Skanda world is dukkha, and I am conducting this with the idea of freeing myself from dukkha, the cause of dukkha is tanha, and then the kusala can arise if given with the idea of reducing tanha. There is no investment there, and it is dana paramitha. When King Vesantara donated his 2 children, was he expecting more children? No, King Vesantara donated the 2 children aiming at Nibbāna, expecting the Sammā Sambuddha. That falls into a dana paramitha. Had he done it Expecting more children, he would have again continued in the world that falls into pina. There is a payback, a prativipaka in it. When a punya karma is performed, it has a payback. Now do not be disturbed. Many people are scared now. Experiencing Nibbāna is very difficult. Until then we have to hang on to samsara. Avoiding birth in hell is an important thing, until we experience Nibbāna. Therefore, pina helps us in realizing this. People say, we are on this long trip to Nibbāna, we must have enough merits, just like pocket money we carry with us when we travel. They advise us to collect individual pina. Then, it is not necessary to do pina like that most of the time, because when we do kusala aiming for Nibbāna and do it right, there is no reason for birth in hell. As an example, there is a story in Dhamma books about an incident that happened in Kashyapa Buddha's era. He appeared before the Gautama Buddha. His era was declining just like today, and was closer to complete disappearance. Just like today, hardly ever they could hear Sadhaham, tarnished Dhamma, partial Dhamma had replaced Pristine Dhamma, and that was what available as Dhamma, full of various type of ways to make merit. Path to Nibbāna had disappeared. Okay. There had been 5 bhikkhus living at that Buddha's era, 5 monks. They were contemplating, we don't know how long this Buddha era will exist, and we have not even reached any fruit of the path. A supramundane level. If we miss this chance, not know how long it will take the next Buddha to appear. Therefore, we must somehow put all our efforts to cross over from dukkha. With the determination to end dukkha, with help of a long ladder they got on top of a rock hill. They pushed away the ladder, and there was no way of leaving the rock hill. No food or water, but 5 of them resolutely practiced bhavana. They did it all day and night in the face of no food, no water, blistering sun, and cold nights. How long can they do it? They may survive under those circumstances. Maybe 5 days, 6 or 7 days. They all perished without water, food, and getting dehydrated. Books mention only 1 out of the 5 reached the state of anagami, and he was born in Shuddhavasa Brahma world. It is believed, as per books, he is none other than the Brahma Sampathai who dwells in Brahma world, one who reached the anagami pala. Only 1 out of the 5 was able to reach anagami pala, the other 4 has passed away as Pruthaggyana people. Now these 5 did not give any dana. Invariably they observed sila by control of body and speech, and did not expect heavenly or deva human happiness. Giving up the desires to live, they had only one determination, to practice bhavana and reap some fruits of path in Sāsanaya before the end of Kashyapa Buddha's era, without thinking of what outcome they would reap. Even though they were unable to reach any stage of supramundane state, how powerful were their efforts? Then they took birth in Tusitha heaven. They enjoyed the life there for very long eons, until the next Buddha, the Gautama Buddha, appeared. Cannot imagine, it takes eons, incalculable period for a Buddha to appear after the end of an earlier Buddha's era, and period is called Buddhantara. See what they reaped, heavenly bliss for a Buddhantara. Have you seen what they have done? Question. Did they not make any wishes? Answer. No, none at all. Giving up desires for life, they got on the rock hill, and kept on meditating with the idea of reaching a stage of supramundane state. The Buddha hath talked about Chaturanga Samanagatha Virya. He advised to exert effort while in Chaturanga Samanagatha Virya with the determination, I will attain whatever that could be attained as a human, using human power without giving up whether flesh and blood, desiccated up in my body, or whether skin, bones, and veins live or not. That is what they really did, giving up any desire for life. One reached Anagami and born in Shraddhāva Brahma world. The other four just died, but never took birth in hell. Because of their flawless practice for 4 or 5 days, they enjoyed pleasurable life for a period of Buddhantara until appearance of Siddhartha Gautama Buddha. They took birth in human world at the time of present Buddha. One of them is Bā'ya. Everyone has heard about him, the Bā'ya Dhyupāriya. The Buddha had advised Bā'ya, train yourself in the seeing, there will be just the seeing, in the heard, just the heard, in the sensed, just the sensed, in the cognized, just the cognized. Bā'ya had heard these 4 phrases from the Buddha while the Buddha was on the round 4 arms. Bā'ya had interrupted and begged the Buddha to instruct in Dhamma. By the time the Buddha returned from his arms round, Bā'ya had already attained arahanthood, and passed away. See the power of his kusala. Think how powerful of kusala is. The other person was Takusati. He was a king, having given up kinghood, becoming a recluse, ordained as an ascetic. While he was on his way looking for the Buddha, had spent one night at a potter's hall. He had met the Buddha while searching for the Buddha. Then, the Buddha had disseminated Dhamma. The sun in the morning, happened what after that, he was able to become an Anagami. He did not have the chance to become an Arahant. A cow killed him. Bā'ya was also killed same way, but by a cow. Some previous bad karma had showed up. One ended up his life that way, the other ended this way. The other 2 are Arahant Dabamala and Maha Arahant Mogaliputta. Look. 2 of them also reached arahanthood. 3 out of the 4 were able to become arahants this life itself. The other one was born as an Anagami in Shraddhāva Brahma world. Do we need to do special merits? Do you see the power of kusala, and what it can produce? One deity had asked the Buddha, do not advice on kusala Dhamma, instead, advice on how to live a happy life in this world, enjoying pleasures of karma, by doing pinnacle Dhamma. The Buddha had replied saying, no, I don't ever endorse punya kamas. Many people talk about bhava. The Buddha stated in one sutta, monks, even 1 drop of urine smells horrible, even a drop of blood smells horrible. Bhava is similar, I don't embellish it for a moment even. Bhava means existence, I don't long for bhava even for a moment. He had condemned the bhava as repulsive like that. It is for the continuation of this, all of us are exerting all our efforts. When we conduct dhyana this way, some object, they say, not that way, not everyone can understand this, not everyone can do this, and everyone is not intelligent enough. Therefore, to benefit them, we need to teach them something about how to survive life in samsara. It is true that not everyone can understand this Dhamma. Why cannot they understand? Not having a beneficial citta, they have not developed kusala, they do not know how to be free from dukkha, they do not have the techniques and approach to grasp the way to end dukkha. One who has techniques and approach only could grasp this readily. Bā'ya had exceeded his technique and approach, and grasped what the Buddha taught instantly. I am using this word because it is a new word and being used commonly today. Technique means something that has a certain modus operandi, some kind of system, and a methodology. Because Bā'ya had continuously been cultivating these skills, he was able to understand the Buddha's words instantly. Now like that, even though the Siddhartha Gautama Buddha had entered Parinibbāna a long time ago, unbroken chains of teacher lineage from his time are still living. Aryan's lineage still exists. And Arahants pronounce the same Dhamma. Pronounced by a Buddha. Arahants do not have a different Dhamma. They learned Dhamma from a Buddha, practiced it, gained enlightenment, and disclose repeatedly the same Dhamma. Afterward. For that reason, it is not essential to meet a Buddha, it is okay having had no chance to meet a Sammā Sambuddha. The Sāsanaya is still alive within that Buddha. Sāsanaya means that the Arahants are still living. When these Arahants dispense Dhamma, they dispense the same Dhamma as the Buddha. If people have been practicing and developing the way to end dukkha, skills, techniques and approaches, from past bhava, they will instantly grasp the essence and cross over samsara when they hear this Dhamma. Now, are there any Arahants living in this world, in this country today? This is the puzzle now. Many say they do exist. Many others say they do not exist. One or two say it is likely that they exist. Arahants are living, still living in this world. Living. Arahants are there. Those who have reached the anagami level. Are there even among lay people? What is there to talk about? Servan and Sakrudagami? Then, Arahants are still living, and they are disclosing Dhamma. However, any amounts of discourses by Arahants, or the Buddha's appearance disclose, in fact, the listeners would not understand, if the listeners are not having a prepared and a skillful chitta. Then, why do the people living today cannot understand the Dhamma? It is because they have not developed the techniques in their chitta prior to this. This means they have not learnt how to gain kusala. Then, what kindness could we extend toward them? Please pardon them. They do not understand this profound and skillful Dhamma. Because of that, let us advise them in how to do pina, to protect them from falling into naya, until the appearance of next Buddha. If we keep encouraging them to perform pina to live in this world, producing nutrients for continued existence in bhava, when will they be able to experience Nibbāna? Even if they get to meet any number of Buddhas, can they experience Nibbāna? No. They cannot. Therefore, may I request from all who are giving Dhamma sermons, from those who are in this country giving Dhamma sermons and doing various projects related to Dhamma, if you have any compassion towards citizens of this country, toward this suffering lot, at least from here on would direct them toward this Maga. They would not obtain a samadhi as soon as they sit, or get to first jhana immediately. They need kusala, in English, what is known as skills. These have to be cultivated in the past in samsara. One who has done that, of course, would get a samadhi within 5 to 10 minutes. Those have experience in developing jhana would reach jhana in 1 to 2 hours. Those who have no experience might not reach these in days, months, or sometimes in an entire lifetime. It is difficult because they have not practiced and have no previous experience. Therefore, instead of doing things to continue in samsara, please make efforts to do it. If we keep trying putting effort, the rest of the path will also materialize. I advise everyone to put your efforts to catch the sky. If they are jumping, they will get hold of coconut trees automatically. Then, they would get hold of jack trees automatically. If we jump up to catch only a coconut tree, we might end up getting hold of only a castor plant. Not even that. Sometimes, they will end up getting hold of only love grass. Have I made it clear for you now? When we practice Dhamma aiming at Nibbāna, other resources for living in bhava will come by, inevitably, until experiencing Nibbāna. There is no void in between. We can look at many examples that we come across, especially in the Theri Gatha Theri Sumedar says during Konagamana Buddha's Sāsanaya that three of them, Sumedar, a Brahmin Dhananjani, and the chief bhikkhuni of the Buddha, Khema, got together and built a monastery, and offered. To whom did they offer? To Konagamana Buddha. As a result, it states that they were born in heaven. Anyway, according to the statements, they had a heavenly life skipping the next Buddha's period too. That is how I remember it. As per Theri Gata, their heavenly birth resulted because of offering of the monastery to Konagamana Buddha. Anyway, they had not offered the monastery with the idea of gaining a heavenly birth. Keep it well in mind, they had done it aiming at Nibbāna with Nekkhamma Chaitanya. Now see, Khema had been there. Dhananjani Brahmin had been there. However, Dhananjani Brahmin had not reached any supramundane state level. At his last stages, I think, listening to Dhamma disclosed to him by Venerable Sariputta, he had gained birth in a Brahma world. Then, Khema became a chief bhikkhuni. None of them expected these byproducts. Everything had come about as they developed kusala, within the kusala as they tread on Nibbāna Maga. One who put efforts toward Nibbāna will never fall into a lower level. Now, as such, we would not be able to practice bhavana at once. We cannot observe sila. These 5 precepts are enough. Daily 5 precepts, 8 precepts on Poyade and continuing in conventional traditional things such as taking care of the parents and giving dana to the temple would do. Do not need Buddhas to give advice like that. People have done them even when there were no Buddhas. 5 precepts and 8 precepts had been there all the time in the world. They had been there even when there were no Buddhas. Dana events also had been in existence in that time. Really, they were unaware of the supramundane state. All other teachers had given Dhammadisana and done other affairs based on the mundane situation. Therefore, we should not do the same today, while staying within a Buddha Sāsanaya. Therefore, I am asking everyone to make efforts to develop kusala, give dana with Nekkhamma Chaitanya, perform dana without any desires, without tanha for bhava, without karma tanha, without producing any nutriments for developing tanha, but for the purpose of freeing chitta karma. If we give away what we have for enjoyment of karma, it will be detachment from karma. Therefore, we must give dana with Nekkhamma Chaitanya. That is what Noble Eightfold Path is. Samaditi in Noble Eightfold Path includes everything of dukkha, the world. Pancho Upadana Skanda dukkha, Panchaskana dukkha, Rupa dukkha, Vedana dukkha, Sanya dukkha, Sankhara dukkha, and Vijnana dukkha. All rupa are dukkha, near, distant, sweet sour, anything. Then all Vedana, all experiences, both happy and sad are dukkha. Within 4 noble truths even any happiness is dukkha. What is there to talk about dukkha? Happiness and unhappiness are both dukkha. Within this dusana, within Dhamma, within the Buddha's Katura area Satyaya Jisana, all perceptions are dukkha. Any perception is dukkha. Without any exceptions, even mother and father belong to dukkha category. All sankhara are dukkha. All punya and papa karma are dukkha. All vijnana chitta are dukkha. Then, whole pancho upadana skanda is dukkha. The cause of this dukkha is tanha. Then, we must destroy tanha. Therefore, destruction of tanha is Nibbāna, what is called freeing of dukkha. The required activity process for this is the practice of Noble Eightfold Path. Therefore, the development of the Noble Eightfold Path is kusala. Remember this well. Are you clear about what I have been saying? We are not talking about pina, we are talking about kusala. Development of the Noble Eightfold Path is regarded as kusala. Then what is the Noble Eightfold Path, the course of action for experiencing Nibbāna? It is the process to end dukkha. Then Sammaditthi is relevant there. The first element of the path is Sammaditthi. What is first element of Sammaditthi? Then Dukkha-nanan, this is Panchcha Upadana Skandha dukkha. Dukkha samudaya nanan, cause of dukkha. Then, the next is dukkha nirodha, Nibbāna, position where one is free of dukkha. Ending of dukkha. This means ending of tanha. Ending of dukkha means ending of tanha. Are you clear? Where does tanha arise? Within oneself. Tanha occurs in eye to please the eye. Tanha occurs in ear to please the ear. In all sensual faculties, nose, tongue, body, tanha occurs to please them. Tanha occurs at every sensual faculty. I am not going to describe that now, shall do it at another time in detail. All these are karma. Tanha must be free from karma, nekkhamma. Then, we destroy all tanha at these sites. Kama tanha, bhava tanha, and vibhava tanha are all tanha that we should destroy. The path to destroy all these tanha is the Noble Eightfold Path. This is dukkha nirodha gamini patipadaya. Arya satyaya. This is Sammaditthi. What will the person who developed Sammaditthi do next? He moves on to the nekkhamma sankalpana. That is nekkhamma. That is why it says that we should do everything within nekkhamma sankalpana. Dukkha that was not aware of up to now is Panchcha Upadana Skandha. In it is this lot. If this was known, because it was not known that all karma, sankhara are dukkha, the Buddha had placed nekkhamma sankalpana where samma sankappa is. Are you clear about this? He had placed nekkhamma sankalpana. Up to now, we had karma sankalpana. The cause of dukkha is karma, and then we must flee from karma. For this reason, the Buddha had placed nekkhamma sankalpana up front. Then, vyapada and vyansa happen because of karma. Thus, we also need to be free of those two. We need to develop avyapada and avihimsa or karuna maitri in place. Therefore, what is meant by developing kusala? The determination we make to be free of karma, having primarily karuna maitri as principal thoughts. Then what does it mean as kusala citta? Karma is the possessions that we have for pleasing the sensual faculties. We decide to be away from them. This is the starting point. First step is dana, giving away, charity. Thus, pina is charitable thought, inclusive of kindness and maitri. Then, we need to be there. Then, who cannot do it? We give dana the customary way, do something, and then, what do we do at the end? At the end of a dāsana we do what? At the end, they recite a story like, now you all have performed a big estimable act. As a result of this generous act may you all enjoy all happiness in Deva human worlds. We do not have to recite these things for the survival in samsara. The necessary things will receive unnoticed. Certainly, we do not need to wish for them, and we should not give dana with this chaitanya. People are unwilling to give dana. Remember this well. Disinclined to give. Whom do they give dana? Offer some food to an image or offer some alms to the monk at the temple. There are no transactions in those two acts. There is a transaction in the way most people offer dana to the monk at the temple, but not everyone. Why? The chaitanya that exists there is, if dana is not given, the monk might not come to conduct the last rites or pirith or to conduct a dharma sermon. They need the monk for those reasons. Then, place some food in front of an image. Thinking it is the Buddha, pour some milk to a bo tree, or don a robe around a bo tree or a statue. Now, for doing those things, There is no lobber in them. Why? Why there is no lobber? Because they have heard that giving dana to the Buddha generates good fruits and vast results, gains lot of merits. Therefore, they like to give to things that generate merits in excess. That is their reason for giving. However, they do not have the same chaitanya to take care of a hungry beggar. There is lobber in them to help a neighbor or someone who deserves them. What is there is transaction, not a giving away. The chaitanya is to get something big in return for giving little something, an investment thought. This is not a good act. Even the result will not be good because things were given with a dirty mind. Why not do this the proper way? That is why I said, one who had already listened to the Buddha Dhamma, calling himself a Buddhist being in Buddha Sāsanaya, if he continues doing these kind of non-Buddhist practices and duties, he is not a Buddhist. Are you clear about this? Live in a Buddha Sāsanaya, wearing a Buddha label. Now, dana exists in non-Buddhist religions too. Do you think only Buddhists give dana, Christians give dana, Hindus give dana, and Islamic people give dana? Do they get results? They do. Do they find birth in heaven? Mother Teresa, who had sacrificed her whole life to benefit unfortunate people, would not she find birth in heaven? However, they dedicated them not aiming at Nibbāna. For their beliefs they aimed them at heaven, path to heaven. Heaven is again a mundane thing. They expected heaven, and God, which is what they expect. I do not think it has stillness as in Nibbāna. There is no stillness of Panchayopadana skandha there. Then there are things like that. There are people who are very generous and give away big, not necessarily be a Buddhists. Therefore, if Buddhists and non-Buddhist are all engaged in dana, there should be a difference between Buddhist and non-Buddhist dana practice. Otherwise, Buddhism and other practices are alike. However, it cannot be so. The Buddha is the only religious leader who disclosed that the world is anicca, dukkha, and anatta. All others said the world is permanent, pleasurable, and perpetual, with an eternal soul. Others give dana for perpetuating of permanent, pleasurable, and eternal soul. On the other hand, the Buddhist gives dana for freeing from this world called anicca, dukkha, anatta. That is where the difference lies in Buddhist dana. Are you clear? No decrease in results. Buddhist dana derives superior results and is pristine than what is given. Expecting happiness in heaven. Is it yes? Is it not? With a clear mind, give away things with an alobha, advesha, and a moha citta. Does he give with an alobha citta, if given expecting heaven? Given away, expecting heaven, is alobha citta present there? One who gives away expecting heavenly joy is not giving away with alobha citta, giving away with lobha citta, which is why I have been pointing out that everyone is making a big mistake here. Do you understand what I have been saying? What is there is a transaction. I am doubtful whether he even be able to get what is hoped to get. Why? Because what is present in him is an lobha citta. Then, lobha is an akusala. We must think about these very carefully. Most of these we must give dana only with nekkhamma sankalpana, keeping of the apeda and of ahimsa sankalpana up front. Giving dana, giving away, letting go, donating, these are very difficult acts, because dana is located within Panchayopadana skandha. Sankara is located there too. The rest forms contingent on Vedana and Sangha. Dana grows. Thus, it is very difficult to let go. Dana, even do not want to think of giving. That is very clear. That is why we should improve our citta for it. Now, we must improve the thought of giving, instead of improving the giving away thoughts. We keep improving our investment thoughts. As such, we must develop citta for giving away, not the thoughts for making an investment, or the thoughts to give something small and get something big in return. We must improve detachment. Citta. We are lobha to give. Some finds it difficult to think about giving, even some develops lobha after making the mind to give. Some find it difficult to be happy even after giving away. They regret, in vain I gave it, I could have done something else. Even after giving they feel lobha. Look, these thoughts may have arisen very much. Like to give, but cannot give, because have not practiced and cultivated giving. Miserly to say, I will give, stingy. To think of giving. It is difficult to give indeed than giving rise to thoughts of giving. In fact, feeling happy after giving is more difficult. Invariably, most of the time, there are instances of regret after giving away a lot. We think sometimes, in vain gave it to a beggar. He could earn it by doing some work with his arms and legs. Various thoughts like that arise. In vain we gave food to that monk, he is a corrupt monk. Therefore, things like this happen. It is difficult to think about giving itself, and the next thing, to feel happy after giving. This is difficult to do. Therefore, to give, we must do things just the opposite to this. Give with Vinekama Chaitanya. Then, must give without thinking about those. They offer things to statues or made up things without lobha. Why is it? Expecting big pina, people give dana expecting big merits in return. It is wrong to give dana longing for pina. I say that it is a wrong, and that is how I feel about it, because it is some kind of an empty and lowly act. Wonder why insincere this much. Are we not giving if it does not bring merits? Then, what is the difference between human beings and beasts? Many questions like this would arise. Therefore, we are stingy to give. However, get used to giving. A Brahmin by the name Ekasataka had been living at the time of the Buddha, a Brahmin. He was very poor. He and his wife had only one shawl to cover their upper bodies, which is why he was called Ekasataka. Had only one shawl, thus, they could not go out together from home. One had to stay at the house, for the other one to leave. They stayed deep inside the house, because they had only one shawl to cover their upper bodies, as they could not walk half-naked. The Buddha had arrived in their neighborhood to disclose Dhamma. He had command disseminating Dhamma, but they could not go together to listen to Dhamma. Therefore, only one went out, and the other stayed at home. One day, Ekasataka visited the Buddha, leaving wife at home. While he was listening to the Buddha, he was experiencing a wonderful happiness, an understanding toward the Buddha. Thoughts kept on arriving in him, I should offer this shawl to the Buddha. At the same time, he felt big stinginess and held back the idea folding the shawl. This thought arrived several times in him. He folded the shawl back and suppressed the idea because of his lobha citta. However, somehow he managed to defeat the lobha after several attempts, 4 to 5 attempts. Finally, some or other offered it, give away his and his wife's one and only shawl he offered to the Buddha. What did he do after offering the shawl? He could not control his happiness, and had screamed, I won, I won, I won repeatedly. The king of the country also had been present at that time in the audience. Hearing this I won, I won, I won, the king got frightened, thinking that someone invaded and taken the kingdom away from him. After feeling afraid, he ordered investigation into it. I am trying to speak about the outcome of this splendid act. However, it is too long, and I do not want to talk about it now. Must give dana like that. Could you give like that? which is what I am saying. When you give dana, give it like Ekasataka Brahmin. Ekasataka gave away the shoal because he was pleased with the Buddha and his Dhamma, gave it away with pure understanding. I do not think he gave it away expecting anything in return. See how he offered it. Offer things that way, it will generate enormous happiness in you. Lack of this understanding is the reason for making offerings to a statue, believing statue as the Buddha, even though 2,550 years have gone by after his parinibbāna. Not because of an understanding toward the Buddha it is offered, but because of tanha, for acquiring extra pina, to gain some pina that he does not have. The Buddha is not there, however, thinking that we are offering alms to the Buddha. We place some food in front of a statue. See what they are doing. I am not saying this with any sort of anger. Had we given it to a person who is in dire need of food, and then it would be a real practice of the Buddha Dhamma. Why do I call it a real practice? Because it was given as he was delighted with the Dhamma, delighted with the Buddha, given with an understanding and respect without any desires for deva human happiness. Are you clear about this? We must give with the Chaitanya, I want to be free from dukkha. The Buddha had declared us that this is dukkha, and there is a cause of dukkha, therefore to be free from dukkha. This is what needed to be done. Give having the Chaitanya of developing kusala, and developing noble eightfold path. Are you clear about what I have been saying? We must give dana this way. Then, these are called pina. There is result in return. Automatically for any dana. We do not make a wish to be born in hell when we kill a mosquito, however, the results are there. Would not be different, killer will be hell-bound. Just like that. Irrespective of Chaitanya, in any dana, in any pina, there will be results in return, if given right way, not as a business transaction. Therefore, dana given with the idea of developing the noble eightfold path, to experience the Nibbāna, to destroy tanha, and to destroy kilesa, will yield immense good fruits and bring about magnificent outcome. That is a pure citta. How many things are possible for that citta? However, do not think about gains. Give away with Nekhamma Chaitanya. Do not clutch on to it saying, it will yield immense good fruits and bring about magnificent outcome. Why is it so? Because letting go is the most important thing in this Sāsanaya, and the Buddha's dhyana. Tanha means attachment. Then, freeing from it means letting go. Then, within the Buddha Dhamma and the dhyana, kusala means abandonment, and this is what we cannot do too. We must exert our efforts for this. Do you understand? We begin abandonment with dana. Here we could give dana of amisu and clemency. Amisu are physical things such as food, cloths, housing, and medications. Clemency, few words enough to a person who is in dukkha to bring comfort, saying, don't be afraid, we are close to you, we will take care, don't feel troubled, etc. We could make him comfortable and calm him down that way. That is mercy opposed to fear. That is also an act of dana. Then Dhamma. Dhamma dana, Sadhaham Dhamma is here. We could explain this Dhamma to someone. We could explain dana, sila, and bhavana. We could explain to someone how to develop saddha towards the noble triple gem. We could teach something that we know, a lesson, or read a book, or contribute by any method that will help a child to grow right way. This is also Dhamma. Dana. All these are dana, and then, we must do these. Therefore, we begin there with abandonment as the first step. However, we cannot let go everything at once, only a small amount. This gets included to paramitha, pina for the existence in samsara. Until we experience Nibbāna there is existence in samsara. We are trying to escape from dukkha. Then, what do we do next? We go to the next step of dana, after nekkhamma and avyapada. Next, we go to what is above dana, abandonment of the world. What is it? Abstain from papa attributable to body, abstain from papa attributable to words, and abstain from meteor jiva. There are 4 papas by word: telling lies, malign talk, frivolous talk, and harsh words. Do we do these with karmatana or not? Lies are told for one's advantage. Engage in malign talk, for one's advantage or not? Either for own advantage, or with bitterness. Engage in malign talk, to break the friendship of 2 happy individuals for personal gains, or for excitement and enjoyment when the 2 individuals are fighting. That is hatred. That falls into vyapada and vyansa. Otherwise, they do this for some gain. Engage in malign talk, lying, frivolous talk, and harsh words with karma chaitana, or with vyapada and vyansa chaitana. Then, to be free from this we need to have nekkhamma, avyapada, and avihimsa chaitana. Now we guard our words. We stop doing the wrong deeds that we used to do, those immoral deeds. We avoid 4 papas done by words, and now our words are under control. Next is the 3 papa by the body: killing, stealing, and illicit sex. Abstain from those 3. Those 3 were done for selfish gains, for own excitement. Abstain from those 3 means release from them. Now the body is restrained. Meteor jiva, making a living by dishonest means for own advantage. Abandon falsehood. Live by honesty. Now, both body and words are restrained. That is the sila. Now dana, about the dana, when we give with nekkhamma chaitana we do aim at Nibbāna. However, this dana is very productive and renders excellent results. The Buddha had explained fruits of dana beautifully. In dana, primarily, one who gives away is well liked by the people. One who gives is well admired in the community. He receives community admiration automatically, not necessary to publicize, by distribution of notices and placards, or broadcasting over speakers, or by advertisements. His generosity will spread out among the public by words from one to another. People come to know about the giver naturally, when dana is given silently and composed. Everyone knows him, regard him with approval, appreciation, and respect. He is courageous and able to walk into any crowd. There are great results for giving that way. He will receive blessings of worthy people, and get to reap the good results in this life itself and in the future lives. Next is the sila. The sila is more fruitful and supportive in the path more than the dana is. It occupies a higher level than dana does. It does not cost even 5 cents. Money not involved at all for being in sila. It does not cost anything, and it was said that spending just a day observing the sila is much better than living 100 years as an erroneous person. Not necessary for anyone to lead an erroneous life saying, "Venerable Sir, we cannot live the way you advise, to make a living we need to break these precepts. Without breaking we cannot live any more." Our books explain very beautifully how to observe sila. A farmer had entered this forest to get some firewood or to look for a missing cow, with one of those objectives: cannot remember the exact purpose now. He had a sharp knife in his hand. He had entered the forest with the knife. After walking for a while, a python had coiled around him. He could have easily escaped by cutting it with his sharp knife and killing it, but he did not want to do that. He wanted to observe the precept under any circumstances. He had thought under no circumstances that he would commit killing. Python had kept increasing the constricting, and the pain becoming unbearable. He had thought if the pains get worse, he might think that his life is more important and might be tempted to kill the snake selfishly. He did not want to do it. See, that is what we call observing sila even in lieu of life. That is the way to practice sila. I do not kill even in a situation like that. I might feel like killing it when it increases pain in me. By further constricting, saying that what did he do? He threw away the knife. After that see, this python uncoiled and crept away, letting the farmer free. There, see the merits of Sila, then. That is the way to observe Sila lifelong. No matter even if the life ends, better to die as a worthy one than an unworthy person. Because the death is not what we think, it is just a conventional notion. In this Dhamma there is no one dying. Yes, therefore, that death is a conventional death, like a temporary rest house. Born here as a human, it is better to be born in heaven, abandoning it than finding birth in hell by causing a papa. Therefore, we must observe the Sila lifelong. Now the Buddha had explained quite brilliantly about the virtues of a person who has control over his body and words. What is the first merit or usefulness? The first outcome of a person who is virtuous is growth of his wealth, food, and grains. Wealth increases and improves. Why? Because he is virtuous, body and words are restrained. It is very hard to practice Sila, needs a large effort to practice Sila. Good mindfulness needed to be present, cannot practice Sila without mindfulness being present, refraining the body and words. If unmindful, cannot be in Sila. Very difficult to detach oneself from karma. It is difficult to be in Sila developing Nekkhamma Chaitanya. Needs a focused mind for this, because of the presence of mindfulness, the mindfulness that he is developing for practicing Sila. His other matters also will be successful. He applies that mindfulness. What happens then? His wealth, foods, and grains grow. That is the first outcome of a person who is observing Sila. Second outcome of Sila is that he becomes acceptable, popular, and famous throughout the country. If he is a person with Sila, that is the second outcome. Third merit is fearlessness. He enters any meeting or gathering courageously. He has no fear. He averts himself from doing papa. Body and words are in control, and he is brave. He goes anywhere because a big power grows around him like a shielding wall. If you practice, you could experience it. One with Sila has his gallantness and majesty. That power goes with him. Let him face any audience with courage, even a king's council. This is the third product of being in Sila. Fourth product in one who abides by Sila is he dies knowingly. He passes away mindfully. Does one who dies consciously go to hell ever? One who dies unconscious take birth in hell. One who dies consciously does not take birth in hell ever. Invariably he is heaven bound. That is the fourth good outcome of Sila. Fifth product of Sila is birth in heaven. If dies consciously, then he is heaven bound. Those are the fruits of Sila. Therefore, we must practice them. Now remember this. Well, I did not mean recitation of precepts. Just reciting Panatipata Veramani Sikapadam Samadhyami will not produce anything. No point in reciting it without observing it. Reciting or no reciting does not matter if refrained from killing. Please remember this. Then do not have to recite Adinadana Veramani Sikha Padam Samadhyami. I am not asking you not to say. You can say it if you like. There is no purpose in reciting if not carried out it. There is no result yielded just by recitation of it. Must practice it. Only if it is practiced, results are produced. Then, the person who does it may not need to recite it. Therefore, recitation of precepts is not what is important. Putting into action, need to adhere to the precepts. Then only the good results would materialize. Therefore, a society that recites precepts is worthless. A society which put the precepts into practice is beneficial to us. Thus, we could practice this Sila. Then, for whom are we undertaking to practice this Sila? Does it need to recite in front of a monk? What is there for a monk What is there for us, is it? Reciting before a monk to say, Venerable Sir, I undertake to observe the precept, what is important? I do not think that there is a necessity for this. One does not have to go up and do it. The monk does not need to get others to do it either. Other religions too have sila, dana found in other religions too. Bhavana found in other religions too. Keep in mind, bhavana is there. All right. Let me explain what they do not have. I will explain it as we move forward what is significant in Buddhism, and what they do not have. Then, we must remember that this promise is not for any outsider. I am not saying, not to recite before a monk. That is not what I mean, what I said, what we needed to do. In reality, we must make this determination, make this promise to ourselves. We must be honest with ourselves. We have to do everything by ourselves, because the whole world is located in this fathom-long body. What is this world? Panchcha Upadana Skandha world. Not found anywhere outside. We have no transaction with outside worlds. Be blameless and look only in you. The previously asked question, why do we get angry? Is it because an outsider did something wrong? Why? No, our own minds are blemished. What is the reason? A person who had listened to the Buddha Dhamma would not get angry if he had seen this world as anicca and had understood it, not by the spiritual, visaddhicitta with which we experience Nibbāna, but by citta-related panna, chintamaya panna, and suttamaya panna. Previously aroused by listening to Sadhaham. Anger arises. It is natural for anger to arise because of our defilements. However, that citta is manageable. By reflecting, this anger is for an anicca, a dukkha, and an anatta thing, so why should I develop anger? Can we change the world? Is it possible for one to make changes to one's own life? Does it serving anything by being angry? This hair and beard turned grey, did it ask these people before it changed? Can we control it? Black hair turned grey, can we stop it? No, so why do we not get angry at hair? Now, so you get angry towards exterior things saying, so and so did this wrong thing and that wrong thing to you. You got angry, only because so and so did not listen to you. You talked about external things, but your own things are not listening to you. Did your hair ask you, can I turn grey? No. Why are you not angry at it? You understood that it is the nature, therefore, anger not generated toward it. What is the reason? Is it not possible that it is their nature to do wrong things? Remember, the Buddha had said that everyone living in this world is crazy, by the phrase, Sabbrutajianu Ammataka, excluding the Arahants, everyone else is crazy. Would you get angry if a mad person scolds? Do we get angry for a crazy thing done by a crazy person? Just think about it. Someone came to see me recently. He asked about a similar matter involving anger. This is a big question. Let me give you all a good example. Say on your way to work, someone scolded you on the road. Near your home using extremely bad words, extremely miserable words. Then you got very upset, anger developed, raised the heartbeat, face changed pale, big things taken place, and you are on the way to work. Felt so shy. On one side, first felt shy. This man, slurring, then got angry. After that, what do? You go to work. Entire day turned fruitless. Everything done in the office not right, as your mind was in disarray. Some or other, spending the office time like that, with turmoil, you were returning home very disturbed. On your way home in the evening, another man, a different person, asked you, did that man scold you in the morning badly? Yes. He did, you said. Then the other man replied, please do not take it seriously, he is a lunatic, and he is like that. Now what happens? The bad episode and the disturbance you had been going through from the morning will vanish instantly, at once. Why is that? Because you heard that man is a lunatic. If you were aware of the fact that the one who scolded you was crazy, in the morning itself when it happened, would any of those things happen to you? Any disturbing things would not have come upon you. Then that is what it is. Keep this well in mind. Everyone in this world is like that. The difference is the severity of craziness. There is variability. It varies with different situations. That man scolded because he was crazy, we are crazy too. However, his craziness was somewhat tense, aggravated a little. That is why he scolded. Others were not uptight. When you got angry afterward, your craziness tensed. All right? If we could think like this, when others get angry, their craziness is tense. This problem would end. Remember this well. Within anicca, dukkha, and anatta, this is the nature, this is the reality. Then, briefly, I have explained how questions like this arise. When we think of this world, we cannot do things the way we feel like doing in this world. The world functions the way it's supposed to be. What is the way it's supposed to be? Anicca, dukkha, anatta is the nature of this world. Our problem is that we do not know this. We have not understood it. We have not comprehended it. That is the root cause of our dukkha. Anger means dukkha, tivesha, lobha, mind is in dukkha, and crops up sankhara. There, the pancho upadana skandha, there it was. What is anger? It is chaitanya. Is not pancho upadana skandha like that? Sankhara padana skandha, dukkha is that. There it is, others things not related to us. Then, what we say that much, it is difficult, because we are on the other side. Therefore, need to improve this. Then remember, this is what needed to happen. In what we call sila, has 5 great results naturally. It results there itself. This is something that could be done well continuously. It is worthier living one virtuous day than living a whole life immoral. Virtuous death is better than immoral living. This is not mine, they are the Buddha's words. Therefore, just like that farmer, who entered the forest to fetch firewood, try to be virtuous lifelong. This sila will act as a power around like a wall. The Buddha had said that Dhamma would protect one who leads by Dhamma. You yourselves would experience the results in this life itself without any delay. The results derived by Dhamma are the same. Question: Then Venerable said, does observing sila mean developing kusala? Answer: Kusala, however, it is not the kusala done with chaitanya for a birth in a deva world. The Buddha had explained a methodology to observe sila, even if it is observed only for one day. I will explain how to get to heaven also, at the next dhyana. The Buddha had also explained beautifully how to get to heaven by observing sila. There is an instant explained it to Pasika Visakha. Exist an instant explained this to the Pasika Visakha. Another instant exist, a dhyana, explaining it to Pasaka Dhammika. How? To gain birth directly in the heaven by adhering to the Uposatha sila. Let us discuss that on another day. Now I am speaking about happiness beyond that. I am not talking about this dukkha. I am talking about the ultimate happiness. Temporary. Even in heaven, there is dukkha. If someone wants it, the Buddha had explained the method to get there too. Temporarily. However, we are talking about supreme happiness here. The Nibbāna, we are explaining how to experience the Nibbāna. Thus, sila within Nibbāna is like that. Dharana is like this. After that, where does that person who has restrained body and word go? He goes to bhavana. We are now going to talk about bhavana. Then, bhavana exists in other religions too. Christianity has bhavana, have you heard about it? Islamism has bhavana. Hindu religions. Hindu has bhavana Ptaniva Sangya Na Sangya. Siddhartha studied under Alara, Kalama, and Udakarama, went to them, and had higher jhana samapatti. What had the Buddha then meant by bhavana? Samma Vayama, Samasati, and Samma Samadhi, I explained even the other day about Samma Vayama. It is giving rise to unborn kusala, further development of existing kusala, blocking unborn akusala, and removal of existing akusala. This is the Sattva Samaya Pradana Virya. Then, the virya that we must develop is this. As we develop Samma Vayama, here it talks about two things, akusala and kusala. Do not get mixed up again. There we mention Papa and Pina. Now here in Bhavana we mention akusala and kusala. Akusala in Bhavana are Pancha Nivarana, Kamadkanda, Vyapada, Tinamida, Uddhacca Kakudcha, and Visakicha. Now we have these kusala and the sila that had been explained. However, remember body and words are unrestrained. Due to Kamadkanda, is it not true? Body and words are unrestrained due to Vyapada, is not it true? We are unwilling to give dana because of Kamadkanda. Do you see the difference? Are you clear about what I've said? No matter from where we start looking at the Noble Eightfold Path, no matter what, it is interrelated to it. Although Dhyana explains that way, it is there within even dana. However, sila is higher than dana is. Bhavana is higher than sila. What the Sattva Samaya Pradana Virya implies is this high-level akusala and kusala, development of kusala and suppression of akusala. Now, rank of dana and sila are lower to it. Sila is higher than dana is, and then bhavana is higher than sila. Therefore, with certainty we can say that akusala means Pancha Nivarana. Kamadkanda is the desire to please the Indriya, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. That was called Kamadkanda. When anger occurs, it is called Vyapada, the second Nivarana. The third Nivarana is Thinamida, which is the laziness in the body and mind, the lethargy nature. Next one is Uddhacca Kakudcha. Uddhacca is restlessness and scattered nature of Chitta. Kakudcha is regretful nature of the Chitta for the Papa already committed and the Pina that failed to perform. Next is Visakicha, it means doubts about the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, Sila etc. Then, these are the Nivarana. Because of these, the Papashvara, shining nature of Chitta, the power of Chitta had been effaced. Therefore, must suppress them up. Then, when Kamadkanda is present, at that instant it is a born akusala. If Vyapada is not present, at that instant it is an unborn akusala. What do we have to do then, to suppress born akusala, and to block unborn akusala, bhavana? Because of the scattering nature of the Chitta, Chitta cannot stay with one object. Because of the scattered nature of the Chitta, because of Kamadkanda the Chitta keeps jumping from one object to another. Desires to please these, restraining Chitta from visiting them, we keep the Chitta to stay at one object. The virya we exert to keep the Chitta stay with the kusala object that has neither attachments nor frictions is samatha bhavana. What occurs with samatha bhavana? This kilesa akusala is suppressed. After that, kusala begins to develop. Explained, what? As kusala. Explained what is kusala there. First dhyana is a kusala. Second dhyana is a kusala. Third dhyana is a kusala, and fourth dhyana is a kusala. First dhyana is a kusala, what are characteristics and dhyanananga of it? They are shining nature, papashvara Chitta, the brightness in Chitta, and the potency in Chitta, reappearing due to suppression of Pancha Nivarana, Kamadkanda, Vyapada, Tinamida, Uddhacca Kakudcha, and Visakicha. Then, what are the characteristics of a papashvara Chitta? Dhyanananga are called Vithaka, Vichara, Priti, Sukha, and Ekaggata. Then, when these dhyanananga appear, it is called first dhyana, initial dhyana. Second dhyana is a kusala. Vithaka and Vichara are absent. In there, only Priti, Sukha, and Ekaggata are present. At third dhyana, Priti is absent, leaving only Sukha and Ekagatha. At fourth dhyana, even the Sukha is absent, leaving only Ekagatha, Upeksha. This is the shining Chitta. This Chitta then we focuses on Samasati. Samasati is Sattva Satipatthana, Kayanupassana, Vedanānupassana, Cittanupassana, and Dhammanupassana. This bhavana is missing in other religions. Are you clear about what I am saying? I have said that the other religions do have dana and sila. They are present here too, though the other religions have both dana and sila. At what extremity do their dana and sila stand? With cravings for heavenly happiness, mundane happiness. What taken as the objective, the Buddhist dana and sila are performed, however, aiming the elements, nekama, avyapada, and avihimsa. Then, both others and Buddhists have bhavana. However, the bhavana that no one else has, samatha. Bhavana is what all have. The Buddha had approved it in Buddha Dhamma, had advised us to practice up to the fourth dhyana. Then, the Buddha had advised to obtain even this, abhina. The next most important thing declared by the Buddha is, the Buddhas appear to disclose the Sattva Satipatthana. We said at the beginning that Pancho Upadana Skandha is dukkha. It is to realize this Pancho Upadana Skandha, this dukkha, that we need the Sattva Satipatthana. This Pancho Upadana Skandha dukkha is not located anywhere else, but within this fathom-long body. Therefore, we must look at the body in accordance with its actual form, but not with the eyes but with wisdom, with that Padhashvara Chitta. After reaching the fourth jhana, a strong Chitta appears. That Chitta is focused at the body. How do we focus it? Kakayanu Viharati Atapi Sampajano Satima Vinyalokya Dhamana Sam. How are we looking at the actual nature of the body? Atapi Sampajano Satima, with viriya, intelligence, and mindfulness. Vinyalokya Dhamana Sam, without any attachment or friction with the body. This is Kayanupassana. Vedanānupassana is explained in the same manner. Vedanasu Vedanānupassi Viharati Atapi Sampajano Satima Vinyalokya Dhamana Sam. Vedanānupassi Viharati means looking at the actual nature of Vedana without any attachment and frictions, with viriya, intelligence, and mindfulness. Cittanupassana had been explained the same way. Cittanupassi Viharati Atapi Sampajano Satima Vinyaloki Abhinadhamana Sam. Then, we look at the Chitta without attachment and friction, but with viriya, intelligence, and mindfulness. Next is Dhamma. We look at Dhamma objects attractive, and become foods to the Chitta, the mind, without attachment and friction, but with viriya, intelligence, and mindfulness. That is Sattva Satipatthana. As we keep developing it, we get to observe appearance, disappearance. Where is that dukkha explained to Venerable Ananda? He had said, it is on dukkha. Now we see that dukkha, as we keep on developing Sattva Satipatthana, we get to observe the appearance-disappearance in Pancho Upadana Skandha world. Get to observe the appearance-disappearance of all the objects in the body. Moment after moment, we begin to see appearance-disappearance of the rupa in bundles and in bands. Get to observe incessant transitory Chitta like the sky. He sees diverse sittas appearing dissolving. Beginning to see how all Vedana both pleasant and unpleasant repeatedly appearing, and repeatedly disappearing. Likewise, all thoughts that appear in Chitta are anicca. He begins to see activities of the Panchanivarana, the Skandha, and the faculties. He is seeing what here, appearances, disappearances. That means anicca. As the Chitta sees anicca, the cheetah that has been holding on to pancho upadana skanda believing they were permanent and pleasurable will not be able to clutch onto them any longer, begins to free them off. Thereafter, by way of that, get activated a great process. Internally, let us look at it on another day. Through these activities, through this process, a samadhi begins to materialize. This is called Sammā Samadhi. Development of Bojjhanga also is this, developing Sati Sam. Bojjhanga. Mindfulness about Sattva Satipatthana, when Dhammavicaya Sati is developing, when mindfulness in Sattva Satipatthana is continued, and persistently applied, Dhamma Vicaya starts emerging. Dhammavicaya means start to see. Anicca, begins to see dukkha, and anatta. Next is Virya Sambojjhanga. Virya, a strong virya. Develops, a virya, effort, seeing the truth that has never experienced before in the world. Pretty, a colossal happiness grows in citta. Then occur passaddhi, feeling an enormous lightness in body, and alleviated. Citta too, like floating in sky, no hunger for food. There are no desires to visit here and there in the country, or to roam about. No intentions, objects of sense arise, live with a wonderful feeling of lightness. Then a samadhi starts to grow, through that experiences an enormous samadhi, a Chitta-Kagasa. Chitta-Kagasa occurs and stays within Satipatthana. This samadhi then gives rise to upekkha, equanimity. This upekkha then ends up in vimutti. Experiencing vimutti for the first time, vimutti citta arises. It is called sotapanna, which mean, entered Sovanpala. There are 10 straps that keep worldly beings tied down to samsara. The Buddha had called them sanyojana. 3 out of those 10. Sanyojana disappears when the supramundane citta appears for the first time, as one enters the Sovanpala, when the citta is freed. Destroyed is Atma Ditti, namely, Sakaya Ditti, Vicikiccha, and Silabata Paramasa. At that instant, Atma Ditti regarding the body is destroyed. Next is Vicikiccha. No doubt is present about the Buddha, Dhamma, or Sangha, because he had experienced Nibbāna for the first time. Call it Nibbāna. Nirodha Citta freed the citta for the first time, which means, he has seen Nibbāna. He is an individual who had experienced Nibbāna now. Because of that, devoid of any doubts about Nibbāna, devoid of any doubt about the Noble Eightfold Path. He is devoid of any doubt about the Buddha, or about the Arya Mahasangha. What is the reason? Because the individual is Arya, now one of them, and so one person is one of the 8 Arya Pugala. There is no Vicikiccha. There will be no Silabata Paramasa forever. The individual would never go for various worships, offerings, puja, rituals, etc. Until then only those worship of trees and rocks prevail. Do not be afraid. That worship of trees and rocks had been existed historically from whatever day dukkha appeared in world. A habit that had been there since the beginning of samsara. The worship of statues and botaries did not start only in this bhava. Those are things done for an incalculable periods in many past lives from beginning of world. These are Silabata Paramasa. These are the habits we find difficult to let go. We must give up those tendencies if wanted to experience Nibbāna. That is what I say every day. Some might be angry with me for repeating this, saying, this monk may be having nothing else to speak about. Not that there is nothing else to do, I am saying what needed to be said. If those are dukkha, must let go those dukkha too. Then we must also be free from those dukkha. Those explained above are the Silabata Paramasa, tying threads, employing mystical diagrams and charms, chanting a Formula, various types of offerings and puja, customs and observances, then something called Vruta practiced in India such as Asia Vrutha and Geo Vrutha, or living like goats or cattle, etc. Falling into one lot. All of them are sankara, all of them are superstitious beliefs. All of them must go away, all right, freed from all these things. After attainment of Sovan, what is the reason? Because he knows that this is the only path in world. Akayana Maga, Arya Ashtanjika Maga that can free him from dukkha. Because of that he has no doubts again. He would never go after various things. This Sovan person is one who has destroyed these three sanyojana, a person who has broken down them. This person had experienced Nibbāna for the first time. He is the one who becomes the first Arya, one who becomes Samana. He will never again take birth in hell after that. At most, he would be born 7 more bhava. Within those 7, he will achieve arahanthood definitely, and would be an arahant, definitely. Thus, remember whether we should develop kusala, or not. Is there a need to struggle to go to heaven if he had attained Sovan? Is there a problem? Does he have any fear of being born in hells? No. Now, for what should a person exert his efforts and what should he practice to get here, who has escaped from fears of hell? He is free from birth in 4 hells. Then, one who had attained Sotapanna, one who had experienced Sovanpala, must get here. There is no problem. If he wants, he could stop here. He has escaped from fear of birth in hells. There is dukkha in him. For maximum 7 bhava, he will definitely be an arahant. Within 7 births from there. Here in this bhava itself, when he continues to develop Sattva Satipatthana, again like that by developing Samadhi, developing Bojjhanga, for the second time his chitta is freed. When the chitta is freed, 50% of the sanyojana called kamaraga and pataya disappears out of those remaining 10 sanyojana. Not the whole thing, just to half of them disappears. He gets to the next supramundane level, sakrudagami. Remaining sanyojana is effective only to produce 1 birth in Kamaloka. He has no fear for birth in hell. Since reaching Sovan, he has no fear for taking birth in hell. He will be born once more, and that will be in a Shugati. If he again start on Sattva Satipatthana Bhavana in this bhava, immediately in this birth within few minutes, or hours, or maybe days, he will reach the next level of supramundane state. Kamaraga and Pataya destroyed without trace. 2 sanyojana disappear, would not be born back in human world or deva world. Ever. He is an anagami. He would in future definitely take birth in Brahma world called Shuddhavasa. If he exerts further effort again from there, he could gain arahanthood. Then he destroys all remaining 5 sanyojana. Ruparaga, Aruparaga, Mana, Udacca, and Avijña, and attains Sapadishesha Nibbāna stage. Ruparaga means the desire to be born in Rupa Brahma worlds. Aruparaga is desire to be born in Arupa Brahma worlds. Then, Mana means the presence of I even there. The thought I is present still there. It is called the Asmimana. I thought is present. Next is Udacca. Meaning of Udacca is restlessness. In the chitta, restlessness is still present in chitta. He does not know the perfect truth still because of avidya. He has not seen the Pancho Upadana Skanda Dukkha yet. That is what I have explained earlier at the beginning, the Pancho Upadana Skanda Dukkha. When the eye is in contact with an object, then jnana appear. With that, the successive chain of activities, Rasa, Vedana, Sanya, Chaitana, and Manasikara take place. he has not seen these activities yet, because he still has avidya. There, he reached the arahanthood by destroying all 5 remaining sanyojana including avidya. He is called the arahant. Never, he will be born again. He will never be back in samsara. He experiences Nibbāna that very moment, which is called Sapadishesha Nibbāna. From there onward up to Anupadishesha Nibbāna, until Parinibbāna, the dukkha related to his body exists. That is the only dukkha he has until he let go it. That is the only dukkha he has. Thereafter, befalls Parinibbāna. This is the path to Nibbāna. This is the dhyana. Buddhas appear for declaring this. The world is this. Lokanirodha is that. The Buddha had given that answer. Where is the world? The world is on dukkha. And I started this discussion from there. What happens when one experiences Anupadishesha Nibbāna or Parinibbāna? Dukkha is finished. That is the dhyana of the Buddha. I am not sure whether you understood what was explained. I talk a little bit fast. I keep explaining things. How far have you understood? What type of difficulty do you have? I think we still have a few minutes within the allocated period. Question. Yes, only question I need to ask again from you, Venerable Sir, is that I think one has to achieve this only through penetration. We carried out the discussion assuming pina, power, kusala, and akusala as foremost essence. Then, if we do a pina without an lobachita, it will fall into kusala group. That is how I understand it. I would like to know whether it is correct or not. Answer. Instead of making pina now, conduct dana, sila, and bhavana with a loba, advesha, and a mohachita. Do not take up the story of pina again. Okay. Without that chaitana, without loba, divesha, mohachaitana, all what we do, yes, are mundane. We need to go across that. Now, want to question. Again, everyone's problem is that. The problem is with the words. I am getting into trouble too. Sometimes, I know what I want to say most of the time, but my thoughts do not come out correctly. Same way in words. There is a reason for it. Why? This is a deficiency in the language. Many people are confused over this. Now Dhamma books and dhyana books are written in Pali, and they say that there is some exceptional power in Pali. However, pardon me, I do not know how it can be so. The way I understand it is communities have formed languages to communicate their thoughts, ideas, and feelings with each other. They are a collection of symbols. It can be Pali, Sanskrit, Sinhala, Tamil, English, Greek, or any language. They all are same. They all have a collection of symbols. Then, all these symbols have formed according to Dhamma perceptible to Indriya. People are living within the phenomena perceptible to sensual faculties, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. They are all mundane. Then to communicate these, that mean a language is used to exchange what their eyes and ears could see, hear, and touch with each other. All languages have evolved for that purpose. However, what we are discussing here, the Buddha's Dhamma, which is supramundane, does not belong to this world. Consisting of eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. They are not perceivable by those indriya. Therefore, we get into big trouble when we try to explain this supramundane Dhamma using a mundane language. Sometimes, what I perceive by my mind is not expressed by words. Thus, I think, we cannot do anything about it. Therefore, please be sympathetic toward me. What can I do? There may be shortfall by me too. If listened carefully, you might observe weaknesses in my presentation of the dhyana. They are there, I know, and I admit. Then, the reasons are those. It is not due to lack of my knowledge, a weakness in my ability to explain Dhamma, or due to a shortage of strength in my delivery. It is due to a deficiency in the language. The language that I know is within the limits of my sensual faculties. While I have tried to explain some matters, I have knowledge and experience of, via Buddha's Dhamma, that supramundane Dhamma exists outside the limits of sensual faculties. Therefore, need to face these difficulties. This is like the fish seeing the turtle back in the pond. Questioned the turtle, "Friend, where have you been all these days? Why have I not seen you for a while?" Who asked this? The fish asked the turtle. Then the turtle replied, "I went for a walk on dry land." Fish said, went to dry land, and questioned again, "Is there water on land?" Turtle replied, "No, there is no water on land." The fish questions turtle again, "Can you swim on land? Did you swim there?" "No, cannot swim on land," turtle replied. However much the turtle tried to explain the difference, the fish never understood it. How can the fish understand the dry land? However much the turtle tried to explain it, it has not seen the dry land ever. The fish would never understand what is meant by, "There is no water on dry land, need to walk on it." Now, turtle kept on saying there is no water, cannot swim, and no to everything. Is the turtle saying a lie? Turtle saying a truth as it knows it by experience. However, the fish has no experience in it. Therefore, when someone trying to explain something that he has experienced to a person who has not, the person who has no experience cannot understand it. This Dhamma faces the same difficulty. This difficulty had made people go behind various mystics largely. That is the reason for conducting various non-Buddhist activities in the name of Dhamma. Then, the next thing is, please remember this well. Remember in this language, I am requesting everyone, when discussing Dhamma, what I have been saying repeatedly is that this Dhamma had been proclaimed between 2540 to 2550 years ago. The exalted person who proclaimed it had passed away, had reached Parinibbāna. He started disclosing these 45 years before that, the day of enlightenment. Therefore, this is a very old Dhamma, 2595 years old. If we count from Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, it is 2595 years old. While the Buddha was still alive, because who lived at the time such as Bhikkhu Sati had distorted Dhamma, we could see things like this a lot. There are many things such as, only one vijnana is there. That keeps moving around arousing Chaitanya etc. without understanding the Dhamma well. They had distorted it by absorbing things from various other religions and beliefs while the Buddha was still living. What is there to talk about when he is gone? All the religions and belief system that existed during the time of the Buddha received a good beating. They could not face, contest, and deal with it as long as the Buddha was living, and they kept quiet. After the Parinibbāna of the Buddha, they started taking control of it. Then, what we have is a Dhamma that had come down to us from tongue to tongue and hand to hand for more than 2,500 years, 25 centuries. Who can say that pieces did not get into Dhamma, while being translated into various languages by various societies, while maintained in individual languages, absorbing cultural sub-features existed at that time, and integrating pieces from whatever they trusted or believed? Who can say for certain? A number of things were not lost. There is no big problem with the lost pieces, maybe we could find them again from somewhere. The truth of Sadhama does exist in books, not that they are absent in books. However, more things had intruded that are external to Dhamma. Keep that in mind too. Therefore, please do not stick only to books and try to find some solutions to this problem. We must accept after they are carefully analyzed, screened, and weighed out. The books illustrate even how to accept them. We do not have much time left for this discussion. What I was trying to say is that when we reflect on the correspondences received from many people, they have submitted conflicting ideas. Referring to the previous discussion, the main reason for these conflicting thoughts about what I have so far explained is books. We cannot accept them just because they are in books. The Buddha had said it. Therefore, what was told to Lama, do not believe in anything simply because you have heard it. Do not believe in tradition because they have been handed down for many generations. Do not believe in anything because it is spoken and rumored by many. Do not believe in anything simply because it is found written in your religious books. Do not believe in anything merely on the authority of your teachers and elders. But after observation and analysis, when you find anything agrees with reason and is conducive to the good and benefit of all, then accept it and live up to it. That is one place. Another time the Buddha advised the monks in Mahanuwara Sutta about 4 matters. Someone might say, I learnt this from the Buddha himself. Another might say, that monk, who has many followers, said this. The Buddha had advised not to accept things of this nature. However, he advised not to reject either. He advised not to accept or not to reject, but to verify with the Dhamma Vinaya. Next question, what is Dhamma Vinaya? Some say Dhamma is Sutta Pitaka, and Vinaya is Vinaya Pitaka. No. Dhamma Vinaya began at Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Dhamma Vinaya means Noble Eightfold Path. Verify it with elements in Noble Eightfold Path the way it was explained. I have been explaining it for a while now. What is the meaning of Samadhi? I have explained continuously all the 8 elements, starting with Dukkhagananda as the meaning of Samma Sankappa. If they are in conformity and could identify with anything within these 8 elements, then accept and agree, otherwise reject. When we discussed about worshipping images the other day, especially about my statement that the worship of statues is not worship of the Buddha at all, yet, again, they are trying to justify worship of images. In that case, I am requesting them to show me where it belongs in these 8 elements of the Noble Eightfold Path, within this Dhamma Vinaya. Are you clear now? I am providing a common answer. Though 1 or 2 have written letters to me, most people who are participating or listening to this discussion may have similar issues. Not everyone is writing to us. Not everyone is calling us over the phone to verify his or her issues. I am speaking in general to all of them. Do not accept things always just because I have said them. The Buddha had advised us not to accept because someone said it, but to verify. He provided us a frame and mold to check whether they fit in it. That also is what I have talked about in the past. Even today, again, I am saying the same thing. Here is the Noble Eightfold Path, Dhamma Vinaya. Check whether it fits in it. If it fits in accept. Books can carry many mistakes. Today, accepted this widely in this world. Why? This Buddhism had split as Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana, Zen, Tibet. Various things found in those countries exist in Buddhism. Countries in the world had fragmented repeatedly. I have read many other books, because all these are there in books. Not only Theravada books, I also have studied Mahayana books and Sutta When I read them, questions arose: is this Buddhism? They are like opposite poles. Keep forgetting whether it is north or south. Hence, we are living in a quandary like this. Therefore, do not grab onto a book and try to get involved in debates saying, found this one there, that one there. Do not accept even what I am saying, put it in the frame, and check whether they fit in. The other thing, when we are discussing Dhamma here, very clearly we must remember two words used by our learned ones. All people who are speaking, writing, and employ English language use the word early Buddhism. In Sinhala, it is original Buddhism. We must put side by side with this early Buddhism to figure out what original Buddha The Sammā is. It had existed there in original Buddhism. Things such as Four Noble Truths, Noble Eightfold Path, Dependent Origination, Karma, and Karma Pala. Rest is 2,500 years, 25 centuries, of additions, revisions, constructions, modifications and interpretations. Do not plunge into the soup. With this Buddhist culture, the Buddha had advised about this. Even at that time, even today, we have to talk about it. Do not accept because I say it. The Buddha had advised not to accept, even if the Buddha himself had said it. Therefore, weigh against, analyze, and screen before talking about these. Within these, we are unable to respond individually to each question, considering them as a common question applicable broadly to all. We responded this way: are you clear about what I said? Thus, please do not accept things because they are in books. Do not simply reject them, also explore them well. Wide world agree today, one with fewer errors as Sutta Pitaka in view of all the books. Learned people in world agree Sutta Pitaka as one with fewer errors. However, it does not mean that book is 100% error-free. Certain incorrect things have entered even Sutta Pitaka. I can definitely say there are things that I myself had recognized as incorrect. I am not going to discuss them now. Fearlessly I say that these things are not the Buddha's jhana. They exist in Sutta Pitaka, and clearly exist in Digha Nikaya. Let us discuss them on another day. We might run short of time. If we discuss them today, the allocated time is limited. This is what we have to say even today. This is the discussion. I presume that you were able to grasp many things today. All right. That is what we need to know now. What is it? The world existed on dukkha, the Buddha's disclosure. Certainly, dukkha, anicca, dukkha, anatta. Are you clear about loka now? Hereafter, do not look for the world turning pages in map books. Go under a tree. Go to a forest. Go to an empty place. Close the eyes. Look inside you, look inside. Not outside. That is what we need to do.